What's up, everybody? Here we go. Let's see who we got next. We're gonna do Darius, I think it says 24. Come on up.
I don't think we need to be vegan necessarily.
Okay, why not?
Well, I think it increases illnesses like osteoporosis and vitamin D. Like if you think about younger children or babies, how are they supposed to get their nutrients for protein and to grow and develop if they're only going to eat plant-based products?
Okay, good question. I'll post here a picture of some vegan bodybuilders, and the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics is the world's largest organization of food and nutrition experts with 100,000 registered dietitians, and their position is that an appropriately planned vegan diet is healthy, nutritionally adequate, and may provide health benefits for the prevention and treatment of certain diseases such as heart disease, type 2 diabetes, hypertension, certain types of cancer, and obesity. These nutrition experts confirm that a vegan diet is appropriate for all stages of the life cycle, including pregnancy, lactation, infancy, childhood, adolescence, older adulthood, and for athletes. But yeah, I don't know if you have any sources to support your claim
I
that.
ain't got, I ain't got no source because I'm learning
Okay,
nutrients and cooking at the moment, so
okay,
this is
cool.
all part of it. This is all part of the
Yeah,
course.
yeah, that's fine. If you ever do come up with some sources that back up your claim, go ahead
Yeah.
and share them with us. We'd like to see that if you're able to find it. But basically, the consensus among scientists is that not only is a vegan diet nutritionally adequate for all stages of the life cycle, but that it can help prevent and reverse certain diseases, including heart disease, which is the number one killer of Americans. Yeah, and this applies to children as well. So
But children need energy, and they're going to need protein at some point in their life. They're not
yeah,
going to develop from plants.
yeah, definitely. But there's ample protein in plant-based sources, right? Nutritional yeast, peanut butter, flax seeds, oats, barley, chickpeas, lentils, chia seeds, walnuts, tempeh, edamame, spirulina powder, peas, sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, quinoa, tofu, cashews, amaranth. I don't know what that is. Black beans, kidney beans, hemp seeds, soybeans, TVP, which is textured vegetable protein, almonds, etc. And then we got vegan milk, we got vegan burgers, vegan pizza, all kinds of stuff. So does that answer your question?
Okay, fair enough. Nextly, so if you have osteoporosis, for example, you you're going to need dairy.
No. So
You don't
some
need dairy, no.
no, we don't need dairy at all. White beans, tofu, flax seeds, sesame seeds, okra, butternut squash, tempeh, almonds, figs, turnip greens. That doesn't sound good to me, but there's a lot of options. Broccoli,
Yeah.
collard greens, rhubarb, orange juice, raisins. Yeah. So there's all kinds of stuff that we can get. Plus, doctors recommend that everybody, whether you're vegan or not vegan, take a daily multivitamin just to be sure that you get all the nutrients that you need in case your diet is not the best, or if you're in a rush and you can't
Yeah.
count all the different nutrients that you're eating in every meal. So
Okay. I know when cooking plant-based products, you can lose vitamins very quickly, and I know most people I don't think people really would want to take medication for vitamins.
well
So,
well
and you don't really lose vitamins when cooking meats as quickly as cooking plants or
why do
whatever you
you
want to call it.
okay, so first of all, like there's vitamins are totally healthy. There's no negative effects of taking a multivitamin. Um, but also I would ask, like, why do you think that cooking vegetables would take away their nutrient quality or amount versus why that wouldn't happen with meat?
Well, well, But firstly, if you're boiling it or if you're cooking it in water, you're losing nutrients more quickly in veg than meat. Meat are more compact with vitamins.
Okay, so can you? I guess I would just need. I would like to see like a source for that information. I don't know if that's true or not.
I'm not looking for a source.
Okay, so
I know
yeah.
it's true, but I ain't looking for a source.
Okay,
I don't think I need a source because there's no source saying that we should kill animals because we think it's sorry for them. What's the point having animals alive then? Why would animals be on Earth if we couldn't kill them?
Well, sure. We can move on to the ethics and stuff in just a second, but it's just that you made some empirical claims about science and nutrition and how food is processed and like in the body or how nutrients are depleted when you start cooking food, and that this only applies to vegetables but not to meat. And so I would like to like make sure that your statement is actually true. So if you can provide some kind of evidence that would back up that statement, otherwise I'm probably not going to believe it just because some person on the internet said so. But even if it were true, like even if it were true that some nutrients are like cooked away, that doesn't mean necessarily that by cooking vegetables it cooks away all the nutrients or that it cooks away a sufficient amount of the nutrients to where now all of a sudden you're not getting all your nutrients from eating a plant-based diet. So
Um, yeah. So about what's the point of having animals alive if we can't eat them?
okay, well I just want to make sure, like, are you conceding the point that you're not sure that
I'm sure. I've been learning it. I'm sure.
okay, well my
You don't
question
have to believe me. You don't have to believe me. You don't have to believe me. It's up to you.
well, my question just is that, and I'm happy to move on to the next section of what you want to talk about. My question is just, do you agree that a plant-based diet can be nutritionally adequate?
No, I
Okay,
don't agree though.
okay, so what do you think we would be missing in a plant-based diet, and what is your source?
So you'll be missing lots of amounts of energy. You would be missing more. You're missing.
Like, is there a specific nutrient?
You'd be missing fat.
Fat? Okay, so you don't.
Fat. You need fat. You need fat. It's one of the most important things in your body. I don't know what plant would provide fat.
Okay, so there's lots of plant sources of fat that are good for you. I appreciate you being polite and stuff, but you're kind of you're. It's just that you're arguing against like hundreds of thousands of registered dietitians and nutrition experts.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, so I would just need to see some science that backs up your claim. But in the avocado is really high in fat.
Yeah,
Walnuts,
too high.
canola oil, tahini, hemp seeds, flax seeds.
Okay, let's move on. What's the point of having animals if we can't eat them?
Okay.
Topic.
Okay, cool. So I'm just going to assume that you're conceding the point that we can get ample fat from a plant-based diet, and that we can.
All right. Okay.
Is that fine?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So. Okay. So the point of having animals. I mean, like, what do you mean? Like, there. What's. Okay. So there's.
Yeah. What's the point of having animals if we can't eat them?
Yeah, so I mean, they exist for their own purpose, not for us. Just like other humans don't exist to make our lives better. They exist because their lives are valuable to them. Well, sure, we work as a society to help each other and stuff, but they still have value in and of themselves, not just as a means to make our lives better. And so, like, if somebody doesn't contribute to society, we wouldn't say it's okay to kill them. And there's a lot of animals out in nature that they do like support the ecosystem. They help nature thrive and stuff like that. But really, like, what is a giraffe doing to help you? What is a chimpanzee out in the forest doing, serving some kind of purpose for you? It doesn't matter. We don't kill them because we realize that we don't need to kill them and they want to live.
Okay, but what about animals that we can't eat? Chickens, for example. What's the point of having them if you're saying we shouldn't eat them?
Yeah, so the idea is we should stop breeding these animals into existence in the first place because we don't need to eat them. And so instead of filling up all of our land, all of our farms and stuff with animals that we don't need, which, emit a lot of greenhouse gas emissions, which increases the climate crisis that we're in, we should just stop breeding these animals into existence in the first place for the purpose of slaughter. So currently, we raise and kill 70 billion land animals every year across the world. 70 billion. That's 10 times the human population killed every year for an unnecessary purpose, just because we like the taste of their dead flesh. So, um, so instead of using up all that land and all the water and all the crops that are fed to those animals, which is just really resource intensive, instead of doing all that, we just grow plants directly and save a bunch of land. And I can give you some exact statistics on that. I just want to play.
Why? What would we save the land for?
Yeah, so we could rewild. So we need to plant more trees to sequester carbon emissions from cars and things like that to make sure that the environment is protected. Vegan burger versus a beef burger, and the vegan burger, the Beyond Burger, uses 99% less water than the beef burger, 93% less land, 90% fewer greenhouse gas emissions, and 46% less energy. And so here's the text. USDA reported that it takes 16 pounds of plants to make 1 pound of beef because the farmer has to feed the cow every day for 18 months to get them up to slaughter weight. So that's a 16-to-1 ratio of plants to make beef. The University of Oxford reported that raising animals takes up 75% of our farmland because we have to grow a bunch of crops to feed all these animals. So if we transition to plant-based agriculture, we would free up 75% of our farmland. 70% of the deforestation in the Amazon rainforest is used for raising cattle, according to Daniel Nepstad, a veteran ecologist in Brazil. So 70% of the deforestation for cattle. National Geographic reported that a vegan diet saves 600 gallons of water per day per person because we have to water the crops that are fed to the animals and we have to give the animals water to drink. And then lastly, the United Nations reported that the greenhouse gases coming from raising cattle is more than the entire transportation sector, which includes all cars, trucks, trains, planes, and ships.
Yeah, that's wrong. That's not correct.
That's not correct?
No.
Okay, what statistics are you giving us?
Greenhouse gases will come from cars and trucks and trains, and mainly because of the chopping down the trees, which creates more CO2 in the air.
Okay, so do you want to post some sources?
I'm not posting no. No one told me to post any sources. I ain't posting no sources. I'm new.
Okay, well, that's what I would just recommend. Like, if you're going to make claims about climate change or nutrition or things like this, come prepared so that we don't just because we're not just going to believe some dude on the internet. No offense, you might be right, but you need to show us that you're right instead of just saying it. And so
then I need proof that you know that we shouldn't kill animals because we think it's bad for them, or we think it adds to their feelings because they don't have a mind to speak for themselves and know what's not right and wrong. We do.
Okay. So
but
now
we shouldn't just go around assuming this and that with no evidence.
Well, we were talking about the environment here, so again, before if we're gonna talk, I'm totally down to talk about ethics. That's my main thing, is talking about animal rights. But you were making claims about nutrition, and then you were making claims about the environment, and I'm trying to show you. And I used sources. I used scientific sources to back up my claims. Okay, whereas again, no offense, you're being polite and stuff. It's just you're not backing up your claims with any evidence, and so
there's no backing up of any animals that is bad to kill them.
Okay.
If we kill them, we kill them.
Okay, are you conceding that a plant-based? But before we move on to the ethics, are you conceding that a plant-based diet is better for the environment than animal agriculture?
No.
Okay, I think you should, because I just posted a bunch of sources that clearly demonstrate all the statistics, and you've not provided any counterexamples.
Okay. How do we know them sources are correct?
Okay, well, again, if you find some sources, we'd like to see them, because we want to know
that. I know I've been watching a lot of recent things recently, and most of their stuff that they've been saying is very wrong. They just want it for the money.
Okay. Well, like I said, if you come up with sources that counteract what we're saying, we'd like to see them because we are on a search for truth, but we're pretty sure we've already got the truth because we're looking at scientific data from peer-reviewed journals. You know, this is empirical evidence. Lots of research went into this from a lot of different scientists. So, yeah. But in the meantime, we'll go ahead and move on to the ethics. So,
do you believe in Christianity?
no, I'm an agnostic atheist.
Atheist.
Are you Christian?
Yeah. Anyway, so you said if you put the land, you plant all trees with them, wouldn't you? Well, if you plant too many trees, you're gonna reduce the amount of carbon dioxide in the air.
Yeah, that's why we're saying.
There's only 0.8% of carbon dioxide in the air anyway.
Well, what we're saying is instead of cutting down trees in the Amazon rainforest, for example, to make room for a bunch of cattle to graze and to make room for us to grow a bunch of. Hold on. Sorry, middle of a sentence. Thanks. Instead of cutting down a bunch of trees to make room for cattle to graze or to make room so that we can grow like 70% of the world's soybeans are fed to cattle. So instead of cutting down trees to grow all these crops to feed animals, we can stop cutting down these trees and even plant more trees instead of having slaughterhouses and factory farms where animals are tortured and killed. We can replace those with a bunch of trees that will be better for the environment by taking in the carbon emissions that are emitted from, you know, transportation and fossil fuels and all this stuff. But did you want to talk about the ethics or the environment?
I don't know. Anyway, the main problem of carbon dioxide is killing the fish. This is on your side now. We should stop eating less fish. But then, if you can still take down the trees, and if we kill less fish, global warming won't be a problem.
Okay, so I think like we're contributing to global warming in so many ways that we need to do multiple things in order to fix that problem.
49%
So
of the ways of global warming is from fishing.
Yeah, so let's stop fishing.
Let's stop fishing.
Do you agree that we should
and
stop?
And then
if
we stop fishing, then we shall be fine.
Okay, so you think we should stop fishing?
Yeah, that's the only one.
Okay, well that's good. So we have a point of agreement, so that's good. I just think that for the environment's sake, we should stop. Like they say that the scientists are saying that the three best things you can do to protect the environment is eat a plant-based diet, stop flying airplanes so much, and have fewer children. So I myself am not going to have any children, but if I were, I would adopt children who already exist, who live in like foster homes, who need a forever home. And I recommend other people adopt as well. But also, we need to start eating a plant-based diet because it's not just the fishing that's destroying the world. It's this massive amount of greenhouse gases coming from cattle and other animals. And again, just the production of all these plant foods to feed all those 70 billion land animals is incredibly resource intensive. But do you have any final thoughts about the environment before we move on to ethics and animal rights?
Yeah, we can be more sustainable without abstaining the consumption of eating animals.
Well, sure, any improvement is progress, but I think we need to make substantial improvements because we are in a serious climate crisis which is affecting the entire world, and it's only going to get worse.
I guess obesity would decline if everyone was a vegan, but wouldn't people start being more anorexic?
No, vegan food is delicious, and yeah, I don't think you'd find higher rates of anorexia among vegans versus non-vegans. But again, if you support your claim with some sources, we'd be willing to look into them.
What about organic food and free-range foods? Because I've been hearing a lot about factory stuff. What about organic and free-range foods? Why are they a problem?
As far as its impact on the environment or as far as animal rights?
both.
Okay, well, for the environment, like factory farming is actually better for the environment than free range because if you were to, like, we simply don't have the land mass available for 10 billion animals to roam freely in the hills or whatever. There's just not room for them.
Then
That's
how
why
are we going to have the land? How are we
that
going to have land for almost 10 billion of humans in 2050?
well, 10 billion humans is nothing compared to 70 billion land animals every year. So, but again, I agree that we should worry about human overpopulation, which is why I said instead of having a bunch of kids, have fewer kids or just adopt. So I'm already in agreement with you on that.
Why is this coming a problem now and not thousands of years ago?
Why is human overpopulation becoming a problem now?
Why is only people speaking about veganism now than 1,000 years ago?
Well, there were some people talking about animal rights thousands of years ago, but unfortunately, it takes a long time for societies to progress towards social justice. So, if we look at like women's rights or gay rights, for thousands and thousands of years, gay people and women have been horrifically oppressed by a straight male culture, and
Which is correct.
only 100 years ago did women get the right to vote, and it's because of a small group of dedicated activists who were willing to disrupt the social norm and protest for their rights and demand justice and be willing to get arrested and go to jail and get assaulted and all kinds of things. But they did win the right to vote for women. And gay marriage, support for gay marriage has tripled in the past 25 years in America. So in 1996, the support for gay marriage was only 27% of Americans. But now, just 25 years later, support for gay marriage in America, it has tripled. It's up to 70% now. So from 27% to 70% since 1996. And now even a majority of Republicans now support gay marriage. And I think that's at like 55 or 60%. And even elderly people, a majority of elderly people, it's 60% of elderly people support gay marriage. So this is just unheard of how much progress can be made in a short amount of time. But that means that people have to work for that. It's not easy, but just because something has been happening for thousands of years doesn't make it right.
Okay. I think I've got a big one here. You, we, you get red blood cells are mainly from protein, and we would have a lack of hemoglobin if you would just eat plant-based diets, and that's a fact.
Is that a fact? Do you want to post your
That is a
sources?
fact.
You want to
I'm
post?
not posting them, so
You're not posting no sources,
I think
huh?
we should know this. You should learn it in school.
Well,
You
again,
should learn
I'm,
it in
I'm
school.
sorry, bud, but like I'm posting a bunch of doctors and scientists and nutritionists and dietitians, and you're not posting anything to back up your claims. You're just saying stuff.
But there's no claim saying no.
No, you're claiming no.
Shouldn't die.
Sorry, friend. You're claiming that we can't get the ample protein in a vegan diet, and I've already disproven that like
Yeah.
20 minutes
You
ago.
can't though. Yeah, but you can't make hemoglobin from plant-based diets. You can't. It's not possible.
Okay, well, I'm just not going to take your claims seriously if you don't back it up with science. Would you like to move
Don't
on?
believe me then.
Would you like to move on to the
Don't believe
ethics of animal rights?
And then you have the deficiency of vitamin B12 as well.
Okay, so I don't have a vitamin B12 deficiency, and most vegans are fine so long as
No,
they.
because you've most likely been eating meat for a long while.
I ate animals for 26 years, but now I've been vegan for 11 years, and my blood
Okay.
tests are great, and
Okay.
40% of Americans are deficient in B12, and most of those are non-vegans. But I just posted in Stage One Text some
40%.
plant-based sources of vitamin B12. You can get it in fortified cereals or plant milks, or you can get a B12 supplement, or you can, like I said, just take one multivitamin every day, like doctors recommend for everybody, whether they're vegan or not, so that you make sure that you're getting all the protein, or sorry, all the nutrients and vitamins and minerals that you need. But again, I don't think we should really talk about health or the environment, since you're not willing to like back up your claims with science. So I think we should just move on to the ethics and then move on to another caller. Does that sound good?
Wait. Something that I can't back up. Bible. Bible says that, or God says that He's given us all the food in the world to eat. We should eat it, including animals.
Okay, does that?
So all the Christians out there that want to be vegans, you're basically going against God.
Okay, so again, I'm an agnostic atheist, so I'm not convinced that your God exists. But I would point everybody to stage one text. I'm going to post a picture of a family of monkeys. And is it okay to eat monkeys since they're animals?
We get nutrients from them.
Well, I can get nutrients from eating you, friend.
Oh, sorry. You cut out.
Is it okay to eat monkeys and their babies?
Do we get nutrients from?
Yeah, but we can get the same nutrients from plants, so we don't need to kill this family of monkeys.
What happens when plants run out?
Plants won't run out. We have agriculture.
Says who?
Sorry, we have agriculture. We're growing plants all the time. It's going to be fine.
Okay. So let's just kill all the animals because we clearly don't need them, and then we just eat food. We just eat the plants.
Do we need you?
Yeah, we do.
Why do I need you? What do you do for
because
this?
Everyone contributes to life.
Sorry, what do you do for this world that's so important?
I make the world go on. Most likely reproduction when I'm older.
Oh, just by having kids? I thought we talked about overpopulation. Sorry. I thought we talked about overpopulation.
Yeah.
So why? I thought you were against human overpopulation.
Well, it's a deep argument, you know. Because one day we're gonna have to keep on reproducing. Because if everyone goes to a doctor's centre to get children from adoption centres, before you have no children in the adoption centres.
Yeah, sure. Maybe at that point, then we can start having kids again. But in any case, is it okay to kill a family of monkeys if we don't need to? You seem to be struggling with that question. It's pretty easy for me to answer. I would just say no, these are babies and their mothers, and we don't need to cut their heads off.
What do they do for us then?
It doesn't matter that they're doing anything for us. They have...
Exactly, so they don't do anything for us.
Sorry.
They should say bye-bye and they don't need to be here.
Oh boy, so just kill all the animals? Just kill all wild animals?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
they do...
Yeah,
they do...
Because that's what they're here for.
They do...
Because other animals will eat them.
Okay.
So I don't see what's the problem.
Okay. So what about... Okay, so I would just say that, like, animals in the wild do sustain nature and the ecosystem, so they do help the world, probably in more ways than we do, because humans are the worst animal when it comes to, like, environmental damage. Like, we are driving species extinction.
Recently.
Yeah.
Recently.
Yeah, okay, so we agree that, like, humans are destroying
not thousands of years ago, though.
Yeah, so humans are destroying the environment. Should we just start killing each other?
No.
Why not?
Well, why should we?
Well, because you said that the reason that it's okay to kill monkeys, a family of monkeys, is because they're not contributing to society. But not only are we, like, we're contributing to society in some ways, but we're... Sorry, middle of a sentence, thanks. But we are destroying the planet we live on faster than any animal. So why do we deserve to live? Why do we deserve to live, but this family of monkeys does not?
Well, that's nothing to do with if the world's dying. That's nothing to do with That's nothing to do with eating animals.
Well, no, because we want to eat animals, we're raising animals, and that's destroying the environment. Just like you were talking about with fish, you want to do away with fishing because you realize that people wanting to eat fish is destroying the environment.
Well, certain types of fish.
Sorry, I thought you said that. I thought you said we should. I thought you said we should get rid of all fishing.
Slow it down.
Oh, so now you're saying we shouldn't get rid of all fishing? We should just get rid of some fishing?
Well, population in the seas as well, do we?
Well, it's called homeostasis. So nature balances itself out. So everything was pretty fine until we came around and messed everything up. Let's talk
So,
about dogs. How do you feel about dogs? Like, they're not humans. Can we kill them when we don't need to?
well, it's up to the person. If they want to, then they can do it, can't they?
Okay, so currently in the country I live in America, we have laws against killing dogs unnecessarily, right? Like, it's illegal. It's illegal to go
Right.
up and shoot a dog in the head. Do you agree with that law?
Yeah. Yeah.
You do agree with that law. So why
Yeah.
why should dogs have legal protection to not be killed, but pigs should not?
Pigs.
Yeah, what's the difference
Because
between a dog and a
we eat
pig?
them. We get nutrients from them. We like them.
Well, we could get nutrients from killing and eating dogs too, right?
So if we don't kill pigs, what they're going to do then? What do they help us with?
Well, again, we wouldn't breed them into existence.
That was already existing.
Yeah, but okay, so again, they exist for their own, like their
We're
lives
not
are,
God.
hold on, sorry, their lives are valuable to them. So it doesn't matter if somebody is going to do something for us. We can still respect their right to live, their desire to not be harmed.
That's who.
Says me and all the other people who care about truth and justice, human rights, animal rights.
And who said animals should have a life?
I did. So like if you
Why?
if you see
Why should they have a
okay,
life?
hold on. What about homeless people? So homeless
Yeah.
people, not all homeless people contribute to society. Should we kill all the homeless people?
Who says that they don't contribute to society?
Imagine a homeless person who does not contribute to
Yeah.
society. Should we kill them?
Well, no, because according to God, we shouldn't kill no one.
Okay,
Well,
let's talk about religion
no
then.
human. Yeah.
Let's talk about religion. So
Yeah.
you're Christian, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So I was raised Christian, but like I said, now
Yeah.
I'm an agnostic atheist. But yeah, so you're right that in the Bible there are a lot of verses that endorse the needless killing of animals for sacrifices, for food, for clothing, all kinds of stuff. But if you look in the Garden of Eden, before sin entered the world, before the fall of man, uh, Eden was vegan. It was totally peaceful and non-violent. Apparently, even the lions in the Garden of Eden were vegan. There was no bloodshed. There was no death until sin came. So, and in Genesis 1:28 and 29, God says to Adam and Eve, I have given you every green plant and every seed-bearing fruit that they should be your food, and the animals are to be your helpers. So then sin entered the world, and for some reason, after Noah's flood, God said you can eat all the animals, which I guess includes dogs and monkeys and giraffes and elephants, and I don't know why, but that's what it says apparently. So, but then in Isaiah, it says that in the end times, the wolf will lay down with the lamb, and they will neither harm nor destroy on all my holy mountain, for the earth will be filled with the knowledge of the Lord. And if you think about it, in heaven, there's probably no slaughterhouses, right? There's probably no blood on the floor or screaming animals.
There's no animals either.
Yeah, my mom's a very devout Christian, and she thinks there will be animals in heaven because there's a verse that says, "Who knows whether the soul of the animal goes into the earth and whether the soul of the human goes into the heavens." So it's kind of ambiguous, but either way, there's probably no death in heaven, right? No killing, no blood shed in heaven.
Yeah.
So my question is, with what we're seeing with the Garden of Eden in Genesis, God's ideal earth, right, where there was no sin and no suffering, it was vegan. God's ideal was vegan, was nonviolence and
It
peace
wasn't.
and peace.
It wasn't.
Sorry, hold on. But then again in Isaiah, he's talking about when all the justice has come to the world, there will be no violence. And in heaven, there's no violence. So if God's ideal is peace and non-violence, shouldn't we strive to fulfill that here on earth rather than just waiting for it to happen in heaven?
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, so if God gives you the choice to be cruel or to be kind, why not just choose to be kind?
No, he gave us the choice to be kind. We brought cruelty into the world.
Yeah, so my feeling is that there's enough cruelty in the world already that I don't want to contribute to it. I don't want to add to that cruelty. I want to eliminate
You're
or
most likely going to do it
I,
anyway.
I want to eliminate or minimize the amount of cruelty that exists in the world as best I can.
You're still going to be cruel, though, aren't you?
To some degree, yes. Like I crush insects
Yes.
on accident. I crush insects just walking across the yard, and I find that
Okay.
sad. I wish that I could live in a world where I cause zero suffering, but that's just not realistic. And so
Not
in
possible.
order, but just because I accidentally kill insects walking across the yard doesn't give me the right to pay somebody to stab a pig when I don't need to. Does that make sense? Like the difference between
Yeah, but
causing
we
causing
want
unnecessary
stuff.
harm, causing unnecessary harm versus causing necessary harm. Because the definition of veganism is to try to reduce or eliminate cruelty to animals as far as possible and practicable. So we realize that we're not perfect and we can't be perfect in this world, but we're trying to do our best to make the world better than it was.
One thing, God's perfect world was not vegan. It's always been we're animals, because even in the seven, in Genesis, we know that he created the animals. So clearly it wasn't a vegan world if the animals are there.
Sorry,
And then
do you want to support your claim with some Bible verses or something? Because
right,
I've
yeah,
already shown like three different ways.
I have.
Okay,
Okay.
sorry. I already showed in Genesis how God intended, if your God is real, which I don't think it is, but your God claimed that the fruits and veg were to be our food and animals are to be our helpers, not that animals are to be our food. There was no bloodshed in the Garden of Eden. There was no death or suffering.
Okay, well, this might confuse some people. Well, we know Jesus is God on life form, in human form, as known in the Trinity. So, Jesus fed 5,000 people with bread and fish, meat. Fed them with meat. Why couldn't he just feed them with plants? Or fruits?
I think he should have. Like I agree. Like it was if Jesus existed and if Jesus killed a bunch of fish, he shouldn't have done that. He's God. He could have given them any other kind of food. So yeah, I think that that's needless animal cruelty. But I also think it's just a fictional book. But there's a lot of Christian vegans out there, so you might want to take it up with them because they think that God wants us to be kind to his creatures rather than cutting their heads off. God cares about these animals, like it says many times in the Bible that God cares about animals and that people should not be cruel to animals. And so if we don't need to cut their heads off, why would we?
Right, well, I'm finishing off. I don't understand why you can't just let people do what they want.
Because it's
You don't need to spread it. You just get on with your life and let others get on with their life.
Yeah, but the thing is you're forcing your beliefs onto animals by stabbing them, and so we are the defenders. We are against animal cruelty. Sorry, just 1 second. We're against animal cruelty, and we take it very seriously. And so we are getting in between you and the victim, and we're saying we're not going to tolerate this anymore. In the same way that most people who eat animals, if they saw somebody kicking a dog, they would intervene on that dog's behalf. So long as the dog wasn't like attacking anybody or anything, they just see some guy kicking a dog, they would intervene. They would yell at the guy to try to get him to stop. If that doesn't work, they might put themselves in between the guy and the dog to try to save the dog. They might pick up the dog and try to run off with them and escape, bring them to safety. They might try to hold the guy down so that the dog physically cannot, he's restrained and he cannot kick the dog any longer. The person might call the cops to get the cops to stop the guy from kicking the dog and put the guy in jail because it's animal cruelty. And so they would use law to prevent a human from getting pleasure from kicking a dog. And so all we're saying is that we're just being consistent with that and applying it to all animals. And so we think that there should be laws against kicking pigs and laws against killing pigs because it's actually worse to kill an animal than to kick an animal. Because if you kick an animal, they're gonna have a bruise, and but they'll get over it in a couple days. At least they still have their whole life ahead of them, right? But if you kill an animal, even if it's quick and painless, you've taken everything from them, their entire existence, all of their friends and family relationships destroyed, all of their future enjoyment, such as good food and fresh air and feeling the nice warm sun on their back and running around in a field, playing with their friends, all of that destroyed, their heads cut off, their throats slit for nothing, just because we want to be selfish, because we enjoy a certain flavor. When vegan food tastes good, it's nutritionally adequate, it's better for the environment, it's better for the animals. There's no need to do this. So if you think it's wrong to so if you think it's wrong to kick an animal, you should think it's even worse to slit their throat.
Well, if you think it's wrong to kill an animal, you should be allowed to stop trying to tell people stop murdering them, and tell the politicians to stop gun laws and everything, because we're animals as well. So if you want to be loud as telling us stop eating this animal, that animal, we should stop killing each other as well then.
Yeah, I'm a human rights activist as well. I agree there should be laws against murder, and luckily we already have laws against murder, and we're just gonna we're just gonna extend that to animals as well, and we're gonna shut down all the slaughterhouses. We're gonna make meat illegal, and we're going to make hunting illegal, and this will be a thing of the past. And anybody who's not on our side will be dragged kicking and screaming into the future, where animals are no longer needlessly abused.
But you're gonna put someone else in. What about someone don't want to eat plants? So you're gonna put someone in starvation because they want to eat meat.
No, they'll be fine eating plants. We've got rice, pasta. Sorry. We've got delicious vegan food. It's all about the seasoning and the sauce. All right. So rice, pasta, fruits, vegetables, seeds, nuts, beans, bread, vegan burgers, vegan sausage, vegan chicken, vegan pizza, vegan ice cream, vegan cheese. There's no need to hurt animals.
And making all of that, you don't produce no greenhouse gases, no?
We drastically less than animal products, and I already demonstrated that with scientific sources.
Yeah, well, we don't know if that's true, but okay.
Well, go check my sources, bud.
Yeah, I will.
All right, cool. Well, if you want to talk to us again, we enjoy hearing from you. Thank you again for the polite discussion, and we'll go move on to another caller then, but find some sources and post them.
Yeah, well.
All right, cheers. Nudie, what's up?
You said you want to force people to eat plants instead of meat?
Yeah, ideally, like what we're doing right here is just polite outreach, just educating and motivating people to make the decision on their own, because we believe that most people are good people who care about truth and justice and who are against animal cruelty. They just maybe haven't made the connection yet that cutting off an animal's head is animal cruelty. Slaughter is animal cruelty, even if it's done quickly and painlessly. So eating animals is stabbing animals. So once they start making that connection by having these good conversations and watching slaughterhouse videos, many people are already making the decision themselves to go vegan without anybody forcing them to do it. But like I said, once we have enough people on our side, we are going to pass new laws that make it illegal to stab animals.
You want to shut down slaughterhouses and make meat illegal, right?
Yep.
So, with what mindset do you think you can accomplish this target?
What do you mean, which mindset?
Like, you think it's easy just to make meat illegal when we
No.
have eaten meat for centuries?
I didn't say it was going to be easy. I didn't say
Well, it sounds like it because you're not really using your mind right now.
Oh, I think I am. I didn't say it's going to be easy, but it's going to happen, or I think it's going to happen. I'm quite sure. I'd put money on it.
I'm sure it's not going to happen because meat is better than plants.
Okay, well, a lot of people...
You do know animal foods are the highest quality proteins.
Oh, man, are we talking about health again? I already went through this. All right, I'll post some more vegan bodybuilders for you. But yeah, so like... let's talk, while I'm posting these vegan bodybuilders and stuff, I'll talk about how we already banned...
What are you talking about? We're talking about something else right now, not no fucking bodybuilders.
You just said protein. You think we can't get protein on a vegan diet?
Bro, the highest quality protein sources are fucking animals.
Okay, so post your sources. Let's see some...
Let me...
you want to show me...
Acids.
You want to show me...
You know what animal acids are? Define animal acids.
Hold on. Do you want to post some sources?
Define animal.
Hey,
No,
buddy.
define amino acids.
Do you want to post some scientific sources that back up your
No, I
claim?
want
Hold
you
on.
to
Hey,
define
all
amino
right.
acids.
If you interrupt me, I'm gonna move you off the stage. Okay? So I just want to
Okay.
talk one person at a time. I'm trying not to interrupt you. Okay? But the question is, if you're making claims that a vegan diet is not nutritionally adequate, such as protein and stuff, you need to back up your claims with science, just like I'm going to back up my claim that a vegan diet is nutritionally adequate and you can get all the protein you need. So I'm going to post some vegan bodybuilders and some science
Oh
behind
my
it.
god.
And if you want to post something that goes against that, I'd love to see it because I haven't seen it yet.
Look, bro, listen, alright? Listen to me, okay? I want you to define amino acids. Because if you don't know what that is, you clearly are not educated enough on this thing,
Okay.
right?
Okay, I'll try to answer your question. So, animal essence, like the essence of an animal. Okay, so an animal.
And you do know eating plants is harmful too, right?
Hold on. You're trying to
Okay.
bombard me with multiple questions at the same time before I even answer the first one. Do you want to hear the?
Okay, answer the first one, yes. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. So the essence of an animal, and remember that humans are animals. We are mammals. Okay, so the essence, I guess, of an animal, whether it's a human or a dog or a pig or whatever, is that animals are biological beings who are sentient, meaning they have a brain and a nervous system, so they feel pain and pleasure, and they want to live. They fear death. They generally have friends and families and stuff like that. Some of them are more loners than others. Some are very social animals, like pigs, travel in herds and stuff like that, or a pack. But yeah, they're biological life forms that are conscious and aware and have preferences as to how they're treated. Is that good enough of a definition of the essence of an animal?
Yeah, but can I tell you something? Are you gonna let me speak?
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright. So a healthy balanced diet can include protein from meat, as well as from fish and eggs or non-animal sources such as bean and pulses, right?
Yeah, you can get protein from meat, but you don't have to.
Yeah, but meats such as chicken, pork, lamb, and beef are all rich in protein. Red meat provides us with iron, zinc, and B vitamins. You know that, right?
Sure.
Yeah. Meat is one of the main sources of vitamin B12 in the diet. You know that, right?
Sure. Mostly because the animals that you're eating were supplemented with B12 vitamins. So farmers put B12 supplements into the cow's food and the chicken, yeah. So they eat that B12, and then you're eating the B12 supplement by eating their meat. But we vegans just eat the supplement directly.
Okay, but I look. I'm not telling you to eat meat so much because I know it's not healthy for you, right?
You know that meat is not healthy for you?
Like I'm saying, you should eat meat 2 times a week, 3 times a week, but don't eat it every day because it's not good for you. Okay?
Sorry, but we don't need to eat it at all, right? We can be healthy on a vegan diet.
We do need it. To be honest, I'm not gonna lie. We do need meat
For
sometimes.
what?
What do you mean, or what?
For what?
Do you think you can
Like,
live your life without meat?
yes, the science I'm showing you, I read this earlier, that the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, along with the British Dietetics Association, agrees that an appropriately planned vegan diet is nutritionally adequate for all stages of life, including children, athletes, the elderly.
Okay, but so you said something about the Bible, right?
The Bible? Yeah, I talked about that.
Mm-hmm. So every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you, even as the green herb have I given you all things. Have you heard that before?
Yeah, it's in the Bible. So does that mean that we can eat dogs?
But
Wait, that
can
means
I finish talking?
yeah, but that means we can eat dogs and cats and
Okay, look,
chimpanzees
I
and
don't like when
elephants.
people eat dogs or cats. That's weird. Okay,
Why?
we don't like that.
But you just
Because
said
you
the
don't
Bible.
eat a
Sorry,
dog, bro.
no, but the Bible you just quoted the Bible that said anything that breathes and moves across the land can be your food. So that includes
I know
dogs and
what the
cats.
Bible says, but it's our option if you want to eat dog meat, cat meat, shark meat, crocodile meat, any type of meat.
Okay, so there's
You
nothing.
can eat everything on the planet.
So there's nothing wrong with killing and eating dogs and cats, even though we don't need to.
If you kill it, it's basically eating it. You know what I'm saying? You don't kill it because you're a psycho. Okay?
Well,
So
I kind of think
yeah.
I think it's pretty psychopathic to kill an animal, especially like a dog or a cat, when you don't need to, just because you like the taste of their dead flesh. I think that's pretty psychopathic. That's needless killing simply for pleasure. Yeah, the pleasure of the.
No,
I don't see much of a difference between killing an animal for the pleasure of feeling like you're a big tough guy and you just like the sounds of their screams versus killing an animal for the pleasure of your taste bud. I don't see a difference.
okay, no, we're not talking about that. But if you kill a cow or a pig, I especially do not eat pork. I mean, because I just don't like it. I don't like the taste of it. And so I want you to tell me a valid reason why you're vegan, except for killing the animals, being selfish, or being a psychopath. Okay, give me a valid reason, like an actual reason why you're vegan. Not because you feel bad for the animals, okay?
Well, if you want my reason, you have to accept what it is. You can't just say like,
Okay, I will accept it. Just tell me.
okay, so go to stage one text, everybody, on the left side of your screen, 3 channels above where we're currently at.
I'm not
I'll tag you in this, or well, you'll just see it. Okay,
Okay.
so I'm gonna post this picture of a nice lady petting a happy cow in a field. Okay, so it's a nice, bright, sunny day, green grass, and this lady is petting the neck of this big cow, and this cow is looking up into the sky, enjoying getting petted. And so yeah, so this just reminds me of any of us who enjoy fresh air and the sun on our backs and a nice warm day in the field and hanging out with our friends, whether they're humans or animals, and like this being. Though there's differences between cows and humans, like humans are way smarter than cows, but so what? Like we're way smarter than children or mentally disabled adults. Like there's adults who are only as smart as a cow, right? And yet we don't stab them because we realize it doesn't matter how smart somebody is. What matters is they feel pain and pleasure and they want to live. And if we don't need to cut their heads off, we probably shouldn't. And so what matters to me is not our differences but our similarities. So what we have in common with this cow is we feel pain and pleasure and we want to live. We're sentient beings. We all have a brain and a nervous system. And it's just needless animal cruelty to cut their heads off. So why would I? Does that make sense?
But it's painless.
Well,
So it's
yeah,
not really
but bro,
cruelty.
I could kill you quickly and painlessly, like while you sleep. But that's still mean.
Okay.
But that's still mean because
That's
that.
murder.
Sorry, hold on.
That's
That
murder.
hold
You're
on,
not gonna
hold
eat
on,
me.
hold on. Sorry,
Yeah.
hold on.
You're
Let
not
me
gonna eat me
explain.
unless you're a
Wait,
cannibal.
wait. Let me explain. Let me just finish my sentence and then you can talk. It's mean to
Okay.
kill you, even if it's quick and painless, because that would take away your whole life. You have a future waiting to be enjoyed, and it's not my right to come stop that. When it would just be an act of cruelty.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That like I'm an anti-speciesist. So have you heard the word speciesism?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, well, for the audience, speciesism is similar to racism and sexism. It's discrimination based on what species somebody's born into. So if we say it's wrong to kill a dog but fine to kill a pig, that would be speciesism because dogs and pigs are equal despite their little differences. Pigs are actually smarter than dogs, okay? And they're very social, harmless animals, and they just want to enjoy their lives just like a dog, just like you and me. So, or if we were to say humans matter but animals don't, that would also be speciesism because we are another form of animals. These are our distant cousins. We are mammals and we share this earth with them. And we should not abuse the power we hold over the weak and exploit their vulnerability just for our own pleasure. So the idea is just to be nice to everybody, regardless of our differences. I'm a human rights activist, so I don't care if somebody's black or white, or from this country or that country, or poor or rich, or gay or straight, or male or female, or trans or cis or whatever. And I don't care if somebody is a cow, pig, chicken, fish, dog, cat, lion, chimpanzee, elephant. I want everybody to be treated with respect and allowed to live their life.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Are you done?
Yeah.
So, alright. So, there is no nutritional need for humans to eat any animal products. All of our dietary needs, even as infant children, are the best supplied by an animal-free diet, right?
Correct.
A South African study found not a single case of rheumatoid arthritis in a community of 800 people who ate no meat or dairy products. You know that, right?
Okay. I mean, if you want to post your sources in stage one text, that would be helpful also. But it sounds like you're just
You
supporting.
cannot really
It's
do
hold
that
on, hold on.
because
Sorry,
I'm
sorry,
restricted.
sorry. Just again in the middle of a sentence. It sounds like you're supporting veganism with these claims.
Okay, I am not saying I'm anti-vegan. I just don't agree with most of your opinions. Okay, so there's countries that use cows or other animals, such as Netherlands or Germany or Sweden, to make milk, right?
Yeah, some people use cows to make milk.
Exactly. So I don't really think you need to be vegan. Like, if you don't want to kill animals, just like don't eat them or don't look at them
Well, it's not
like
just
getting killed.
it's not just that I don't want to kill animals. It's that I don't want you to kill animals either. And if you try, I'm gonna try to stop you.
So you're basically saying if you saw a truck with pigs or cows or baby pigs, you would immediately stop the truck, like go in front of them.
I've done that before many times, but you know realistically, what we're talking about is like, could I actually be effective at stopping that truck and like freeing all the animals and stuff like that? And that's not very realistic. But the idea is, I'm going to educate and motivate non-vegans to become vegans for the animals, for the environment, for their health. And once we have enough people on our side, which is gonna happen sooner than you think, then we're going to make new laws to shut down all the slaughterhouses. And if you don't join us by then we're going to be essentially forcing you to stop eating meat, because there will be no meat at the grocery store or the restaurants. It just won't be available. And if you want to find it, you'll have to kill the animals yourself, but you'll be taking a risk with the law because it'll be illegal to kill animals.
So you're basically saying whoever eats meat, you're gonna put them in a concentration camp.
I didn't say
right?
any. Whoa! I didn't say anything about a concentration camp. There's going to be either hefty.
No, cause it sounds just like that. Kind of weird. No.
There's going to either there will
It
be.
sounds a little bit like Hitler. I'm not gonna lie.
Sorry, listen. There's already legal repercussions for kicking or killing dogs. Okay, you're not allowed to do that. There are hefty fines or jail time that will be the consequences of animal cruelty towards dogs and cats. So we're just applying that to all animals. Okay? Because otherwise it's speciesism. Otherwise it's just like picking and choosing, oh, we're going to be nice to this kind but not this kind, when there's no legitimate difference between these different kinds. And again, this is just like racism or sexism, saying be nice to dogs and cats, but it's okay to slit the throats of cows, pigs, and chickens.
Okay, but like 90% of the Earth are mostly meat eaters, right?
Yeah, more than that.
So for you to accomplish that, it's gonna either take a long time or you're gonna fail. You know,
I think
and we have like 7 billion Earth.
Yeah.
Making 7 billion without eating meat, that is impossible. You cannot, you even by thinking, you have to even think about it. That is impossible to do so. And if you did make, let's say you live in the U.S., right?
Yeah.
And eating meat or killing meat is illegal. Everyone that lives in America are gonna move to a different country where it's not legal to kill an animal and eat it.
Well, they can move if they want to, but I think they'll be quite pleased with all the vegan meat that we have. Plus, there's also lab-grown meat coming out, which is where it's actual animal flesh, but no animal was killed to make it. So what they do is they just extract cells. Yeah, they extract cells from an animal, but like without hurting the animal or killing the animal. And then they take these cells from like a syringe, or like, I don't know how they do it, if they just like scrape a little bit of skin off, without really hurting them. But then they replicate these cells in a petri dish in a laboratory, and they just basically make a piece of steak or chicken, but without an animal attached to it, without a brain, and so no animal is being killed. So this is a real thing that's already happening. It's super expensive right now because it's new to the market, but you can look it up. It's called lab-grown meat or cell-cultured meat. So that's one thing. So that way, like, it would taste and feel exactly like meat because it would be meat, but no animal would be killed. So that would be cool. But ideally, I would just say let's go with plant-based meat, vegan meat. We already have a bunch of that. It's super delicious, and there's zero cholesterol in it because cholesterol only comes from animal products, and cholesterol is what increases our risk of heart disease by clogging up our arteries and making it hard for our heart to pump blood. And heart disease is the #1 killer of Americans. So I just say go with the vegan meat, but yeah. So the idea is that like people aren't gonna leave just so that they can go kill and eat animals in another country. But if they do, good riddance. Let them leave. Like, I'd rather have a country that only has people that care about animal rights than people who want to stay here and abuse animals, like harmless little babies and their mothers, and we cut their heads off. Like, how are you trying to justify that?
Yeah, but then the country is gonna be dead because most people in America are meat eaters.
There is an increase in meat consumption, but that's just because there's an increase in the population. But there's also an increase in vegan products being consumed, sold, things like this. Kraft macaroni. I'll post a picture of this in stage 1 text because I think this is really cool. Kraft macaroni and cheese is now got a vegan mac and cheese. It's only in Australia right now, but it's gonna probably go worldwide because it's really popular and like everybody's talking about it on the internet. It's like blowing up. But yeah, so, and if you look at like the Beyond Burger, the Impossible Burger, like at Burger King, I don't know what country you live in, but in a lot of countries now, Burger King has a vegan Whopper called the Impossible Whopper, and it's doing really well. And there's a bunch of vegan restaurants popping up all over the place, and there's vegan chicken at KFC in a lot of countries, and there's Beyond Meat, like vegan meat at Del Taco, and so you can get burritos and tacos with vegan ground beef. Taco Bell is starting a vegan range. There's like vegan pizza at Domino's in some countries. So we're still in the early stages of this movement, but I've been vegan for 11 years, and when I first went vegan, there wasn't hardly any of these products. But just in the past 10 years, like people are waking up, and it's becoming like a super profitable thing for companies to start selling vegan products. So it's just going to keep growing and growing. It's hitting the mainstream. That's why you're here talking to us about it now, is because we're making a dent in society.
Not really, but sure.
Okay.
Are you done talking?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So traditional food are starting with meat. We all know that. They don't want their stuff to get changed by vegans, probably. So imagine living in the 1900s, right? You're making a hamburger, and in 2021 they're changing it by making it vegan. So it's basically violating the traditional foods from each different country.
Yep.
Where, yeah, you agree with me, right?
Yeah, I don't think that tradition or culture is a justification for animal cruelty.
Alright, good. So we have the same opinion on one thing.
Yeah, so like I think that people's cultures and traditions are fine so long as they're not hurting humans or animals. So like I'm Scottish, so our heritage is like wearing kilts. You know, it looks like a skirt, like a plaid skirt, but it's not a skirt; it's a kilt. All right, and we have things
Mm-hmm.
like bagpipes. You know, that musical instrument of bagpipes that Scottish
Yeah,
people
yeah,
play. You know, it sounds really cool. And then we've got that thick Scottish accent that we like to play around with. You know, it's fun, it's great, right? So all those traditions,
yeah,
I'm down to keep. But the haggis is a food from Scotland, which is like a sheep's bladder with organs inside of it, like cooked in an oven. Not only is that disgusting, but that's animal cruelty, and it's bad for the environment. It's bad for our health, and so that's something that I'm getting rid of in my culture to the best of my ability. I'm not participating in it, and I'm speaking out against it. And same with any other culture, they have the right to do whatever they want, to have whatever spices they want, and flavors and aromas, or different clothing, or dances, or art, or whatever they want to do. But so long as they're not hurting another human or an animal.
mm-hmm. So, you do know Americans are creating a new type of burgers, right?
What do
And
you
not
mean?
only America, it's a lot of countries. So, let's say vegan meat takes over normal meat, right?
Yep.
Okay, but it has no flavor. So
What do
let's
you
say
mean it ain't got
let's
no
say
flavor? It's
no, no,
got.
no. Listen.
It tastes the
Let me talk.
same.
Let me talk. Let's say the people disagree with it and they say it has no flavor, but so people won't like it anymore. So you're making it worse, and people are gonna start loving meat more. And a lot of countries are known for meat. Every cuisine in each different country are known for meat.
Okay, so there's a bunch of people who have done like blind taste tests where they can't figure out which is the vegan burger and which is the regular burger.
Yeah, I'm not saying it doesn't taste like a normal burger. I just said like an example, you
Well, it
know.
sounded like that's what you were saying, is that it doesn't have any flavor.
Look, I didn't taste it, so I can't say if it has a flavor or not.
Okay.
So I've seen stores that have vegan meat, right?
Yep.
So after a week, I wanted to buy one so I can try it. And when I asked the cashier or whoever was working there, where do you have the vegan meat section? They told me we took it out the store because it wasn't popular enough. So not many people were buying it.
Okay, so I don't know what country you live in, but that's not the case where I'm living. But even if that, like, that just doesn't matter. Like, that just means that wherever you're at right now, there's not a high demand, at least at that store, for that specific vegan product or whatever.
Um,
But in other areas, it is booming. So
well, such as what? What areas?
all over the place. Like you can look up like how much an increase in vegan food is happening all over the world, not just in like America and the UK and Canada and Australia and all kinds of places. But like, yeah, just look into it. I'll post some pictures of popular vegan food, like vegan pizza and stuff like that, here in Stage One Text, so everybody can go up to Stage One Text, just a few channels above
Yeah,
where we're currently
but
at, just so that everybody knows like what vegans are actually eating. It depends on what kind of vegan you are. I eat these any kind of food you normally eat. We have a vegan version of it. So I eat vegan burgers and pizza and sausage and chicken and all kinds of stuff. But I also eat whole foods like rice, pasta, fruits, vegetables, seeds, nuts, beans, bread.
Yeah, that's not bad. I eat that too, but let's say meat is not available in stores worldwide, okay? And they only sell vegan meat, and people will um start leaving the stores and go to different countries that still have available meat stores, so like they can buy, which means that it can decrease most vegan selling stores and on earth.
Well, kind of like I said, like I don't really want speciesist animal abusers living in my country. Uh, they can be here, but like so long as they don't actually hurt any animals and stuff. But like for the same reasons that I'd rather not have racists living in my country or sexists, you know. So if they want to leave, that's fine with me. They can go.
Alright.
But honestly, like it's going to be a gradual change. It's not like we're going to outlaw meat overnight, you know. Um, Unfortunately, if we could, we would. But it's going to be a gradual change where, like, all of a sudden, society is going to start changing in little ways. Like, there's going to be a like half of the menu at Burger King will be vegan, and the other half will be what you're used to eating. But this will give you opportunities to try these new vegan foods and realize that they taste the same and that you enjoy them and that they're better for animals, better for the environment, better for your body. And so that's going to give you plenty of motivation to make the switch and time to like adapt to this changing society. And so it won't be so scary and like hit you out of the blue all of a sudden there's no meat on the shelves, right? But one day that will happen, and you'll have to make a decision: either leave the country or change with the times, because we're just not going to tolerate animal abuse anymore.
Okay.
Okay. Any final
Alright.
thoughts or questions?
No, thanks for answering my stuff. So yeah, I'm done talking.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you for the polite conversation. And if you have any more questions or comments, come talk to us again. Or like you'll see on YouTube and stuff, sometimes a famous YouTuber or a famous celebrity will quote unquote go vegan. And then, like a couple years later, they're no longer vegan and they're eating animals again. And what that usually is these people just went plant based. So there's a difference between being vegan and being plant based. Being plant based just means that you're eating plant foods, like you're eating a vegan diet, but you don't subscribe to the ethical philosophy of veganism, which is about anti-speciesism, which is about animal rights. Um, so people will go plant-based for their health as a diet, just to like lose weight or to try it out because it's becoming popular and stuff. Because a plant-based diet is healthier for you than a traditional Western diet of eating animal products, but it has nothing to do with the ethics of animal rights. So there's not such a strong conviction, like a moral, ethical principle guiding their actions when they just go plant-based for their health. So those type of people are, we do see them often going back to eating animals, usually because of some social pressure, like they just don't want to have to keep up with this quote unquote diet because it's restrictive and they want to eat whatever flavors, whatever products they want to eat. They don't want to impose restrictions on themselves anymore, and or they weren't eating an appropriately planned vegan diet where they may have not been eating enough calories or not watching their vitamin intake. Maybe they weren't taking a multivitamin, and so they weren't getting enough vitamin D or B12, and so they might have had some health complications. Or sometimes people will have health problems that aren't related to their diet, but they'll assume that it's because this new plant-based diet I'm trying, now all of a sudden I'm having some health problem, and so they'll misconstrue correlation with causation, which is just bad science, to think that because some bad thing is happening that it's because of this new diet that I'm trying, when really they might not have had anything to do with each other. So they'll start eating animal products again and be like, "Oh, I feel so much better," when really there's other reasons why. Like now they can eat whatever they used to eat, that flavors they enjoyed and stuff like that. But generally, when people go vegan, which means become against animal cruelty and they agree that animals should not be killed if we don't need to kill them, then most of those people who are actual vegans do not change. They do not go back to eating animals because they realize how messed up slaughterhouses are, and that animals, cows, pigs, and chickens are just like dogs and cats. And in the ways that really matter, they're just like us. They're not as smart as us, but they feel pain and pleasure, and they have friends and families, and they want to live. And so people who go vegan for animal rights reasons don't usually go back to eating animals, because it's like, if you're against animal cruelty, it's hard to stop being against animal cruelty and to just someday be like, oh, now I think animal cruelty is fine. It's okay to cut their heads off. No, that doesn't usually happen. Cool. So what's up?
Um, well, I don't think you'll really like what I say, but I feel like I should be okay with saying it.
Okay, say it.
Okay, thank you. I feel like I saw this in the chat, and I feel like if, like, you have food at home that would be an animal product, then you shouldn't really let it go to waste, especially if it's food. Like, at the end of the day, food is food. Like, you're gonna need to survive, and if that's what you have to do, then that's what you have to do.
Okay, well, are you done?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I would just argue that it's not food, it's violence. So these animals, like, should not be considered a food item. They are conscious individuals who care how they're treated, and so their rights should be respected, just like your rights should be respected, your right to safety and happiness. So if there were animal products in the house, first of all, like, if you have to eat animal products in order to survive, that's different. Like, if you're in some weird situation where you're in like a third world country and you don't have access to plant foods, and you need this to survive, that's not really what we're talking about. We're talking about people who can go vegan, should go vegan, and most people can go vegan. So, but yeah, so if there's animal products in your house, I would say don't eat them. Instead, like, either throw them away or put them outside for wild animals to eat, and just go buy some plant foods.
Yeah, but in my opinion, if it's already at home, it's a waste, and it is sort of disrespectful to chuck food out.
But again, it's not food. It's animal cruelty. It's a product of violence. So I would say it's not wasteful to throw it away, because that would be. You could bury it. Honestly, you could give it, like, you could get, because this was somebody's flesh.
Bury it?
Yeah, seriously, think about it. Listen. This is the dead body of someone who wanted to live. Meat is the dead body of someone who wanted to live. They were murdered. So you have a few options, all of which I think would be better than eating it, which treats it like a food source, which promotes the idea that it's okay for people to eat animals, which just leads them to go buy more animal products. Instead, you could either throw it away, you could put it outside for wild animals to eat, or you could bury it, give this animal a proper burial like they deserved, right? And give them some respect, and say your condolences, and then go eat some vegan burgers or some salad or something.
I've already said this and repeated it multiple times. It's disrespectful to chuck it out, in my opinion. Like, my parents wouldn't agree to me chucking something like that out.
Okay, well, what about if it was made out of a dog? What if it was dog meat? What should you do? Eat it? Because it'd be wasteful not to?
I wouldn't be able to get dog meat.
No, imagine that you had dog meat in your refrigerator. What would you do with it? Would you eat it?
I wouldn't have it in my refrigerator.
I know, this is an if. Like, I'm trying to help you understand the consistency of your argument. So this is just a hypothetical. I'm not saying you ever would actually have dog meat in your refrigerator. But imagine that somebody had killed a dog and put the meat in your refrigerator. And now the question is, would you think it's wasteful to throw it away, or to feed it to wild animals, or to bury that dog's dead body? Or would you think that you should just go ahead and eat that dog because it'd be wasteful otherwise?
I mean, In my opinion, a dog, every animal has feelings, okay? Every animal feels every sort of pain. But, like, I don't want to bring this into it, and I don't think I will. But, like, I've brought this into it many times, people in the chat will know, religion has a lot to do with it too. And I would chuck it out because it's different to a cow or a sheep.
Because it's different to a cow?
Yeah, it's very different.
How is it different? How is a dog
Because
different than a cow?
A dog is a pet that you train. A dog is a pet that you get to do something. A dog is a pet that you need help for example, in your farm, let's say, or a dog is something that can help you.
Okay, do you eat pigs?
I don't eat pigs, I'm Muslim.
Muslim. Okay, let me find a different picture then. Hang on. Okay, so you eat cows and chickens?
Mainly just chicken. I don't really eat steak anymore.
Okay, I'm going to find a nice picture of a little baby chicken and their mother. And
Is this like a sort of guilt trip sort of thing?
No, it's just to help you make the connection that there's no real difference between a dog and a chicken. So everybody can see this picture in stage 1 text on the left side of your screen, just a few channels above where we're currently at. Stage 1 text. There's now a picture of a cute little chick baby and their mother chicken. So these...
This is guilt trip.
Like I said, this is to help you make the connection. If you feel guilty, there might be a reason for that. Do you think that we should be... Hold on. Do you think... Sorry. The question I'm asking is, do you think it's okay for us to cut the heads off of babies and mothers?
That's very different to what we do to eat animals in my culture or religion.
Yes,
like,
I understand. Yeah, so what's the difference? So what's the difference between a dog and a bird?
People are going to come at me for this. They say animals aren't here to be used as objects. Obviously, they're not. But a dog is able to help you.
Okay. So
let's talk about, for example, a service dog, a dog that could help you in the farm. And that's very different from a chicken would do.
Okay, so what if the dog is crippled, so they're not able to walk, and they're not able to help us on the farm or be a service animal? Is it now okay to kill the dog?
No one said it would be okay to kill the dog.
Well, it sounded like you said the reason it's not okay to kill dogs is because they help us. But if they're not helping us, then it's okay to kill the dog, right?
That's not what I said, no.
Okay, so why can we kill chickens but not dogs?
Dog, chickens, in how I see it and how my religion sees it, chickens are made as like food. You're allowed to eat that sort of food. You are not allowed to eat things like pigs, dogs, cats. You're allowed to eat chicken, you're allowed to eat beef, like stuff like that.
But why? What's the difference?
You want me to ask Allah why? I don't know how you want me to say why.
Well, supposedly, like, I would assume there's a reason, like, there's a difference between these animals, right? Because if you're saying that it's terribly wrong to kill dogs, but totally fine to kill chickens, there has to be a difference between chickens and dogs that makes it okay to stab one, but protect the other.
No, because, like I said, dogs are used for help.
Sorry. We already went over this though. If the dog is crippled and not able to help, if the dog is crippled and not able to help us, then that doesn't apply, and that means it's okay to kill dogs.
I am not saying that. I am saying that a dog is a pet.
Okay, so a dog is a pet. So
animal.
Okay, so if
I don't know how I would be able to keep a chicken or a cow in my house.
Okay, so some people do have chickens as pets, as companion animals, as friends.
Of course they do.
Yeah, some people have cows as pets. It's harder to keep them in your house because they're so big, but they keep them out in the yard. Some people have pigs as pets. I know you don't eat pigs, but so if somebody, your reason for why it's not okay to kill dogs is because people have dogs as pets. But I can show you people who have... Sorry, middle of a sentence, thanks. But I can show you people who have cows and chickens as pets, so therefore it's not okay to kill cows and chickens.
Okay, could I say something now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Dogs are also used for your mental health. Like, they affect people's mental health, like, hugely. And they just help with people's mental health. Like,
Okay.
It's not just physical help; it's also mentally.
Okay, sure, that's true. So some people have companion animals who are cows and pigs and chickens, and that helps their mental health. So now, by your own logic, it's wrong to kill cows, pigs, and chickens because they help with our mental health.
Do they though?
Yeah, they do. People have companion animals
It's gonna help me.
like some people have what's it called, a like a therapy animal that's a pig or a chicken. Like, you realize that people can have relationships with other animals, not just dogs and cats, right?
Of course. And I'm saying, don't eat that animal. But if you want to eat meat, then you should be able to. And I don't feel as if there should be a whole group chat trying to get people to
Well,
convert to being a vegan.
sorry, I just want to stay on topic. Like, what's the difference between these animals? Because another example I could give is that what if there's a dog who doesn't have any human friends? Like, it's a stray dog who lives on the street. No, they're not providing any mental health to any human. So is it okay to kill that dog?
I feel as if you were in a situation where you had to eat some sort of meat.
Sorry, that's not
then
what
you
we're
would not.
talking about. We're not
That's
talking.
not what we're talking about.
No, we're not.
Okay, then,
Yeah, we're not
then
talking.
there is no point in killing that dog. That's like saying,
Exactly.
okay, I'm gonna go shoot a cow, take it home, and then eat it.
Right, so there's no need to kill that dog, so it would be wrong to kill that dog. And we're not talking about survival situations where people need to eat animals in order to survive. We're talking about situations where people eat animals just because they like the taste of their dead flesh. It's a tradition, it's what everybody else is doing, and so we think it's okay. But it's still taking their life when they don't want to die. And so, for the same reasons that you say it's wrong to kill a stray dog, I say it's wrong to kill a chicken or a cow or whatever.
Yeah, and I'm not disagreeing. I agree with your opinions completely, but you don't agree with mine, and that's okay. Obviously, I
Well,
can't force people to believe what I
well,
believe.
well. Maybe we do agree more than I thought we did. Like, are you saying that it's wrong to kill animals if we don't need to? Because that's all I'm saying. Is that we don't if we don't need to kill an animal, we shouldn't.
I am not saying that, unfortunately.
Okay.
I would just like to say something that. Can I say something that relates to someone in the chat?
Sure.
Someone said that don't use religion doesn't force you to kill animals, or don't use religion as an excuse to kill animals. I have brought this up 3 times today. I have been respectful about it, but there is a year where you can either sacrifice a goat, sheep, cow, or camel, and that is because Prophet Ibrahim got tested by Allah, and it's basically just a religious, cultural thing. But I feel as if though it's part of your religion, you should be allowed to do that, to respect your religion or your culture.
Okay. So, are you saying that Muslims have to kill animals?
I'm not saying they have to, but it's respect to their religion because that's part of what their religion is.
Okay. So, does your religion force you to kill animals or not?
Of course, it doesn't force me to, but if I want to pay respect to my religion, then of course I'm going to.
Okay, would it be disrespectful to your religion for you to not kill animals?
It would not be disrespectful, no, but I would be showing respect if I did do that.
Okay, so it's not necessary, according to your religion, for you to kill animals.
Yeah, it's not necessary.
Okay, so then don't do. Why? Sorry, so why do it if you don't need to, when it causes unnecessary harm?
Because it pays respect. Like, I personally have never done it. I live in the UK, I cannot do that. If I could do it, then of course, I would, because it's part of my religion. But it's not necessary, you don't have to do it.
Okay, cool. So I'm posting in Stage 1 text some vegan Muslims. And so you might want to give a listen to what they say, because they seem to think that God would want us to be nice to his creations and not kill these animals if we don't need to. And
Yes.
and so if your religion would be just as happy with you not killing animals, then why needlessly kill animals?
In my religion, Allah created animals like sheep, chicken, cows to be used for milk, to be used for eggs, to be used for meat. You are supposed to have those animals to kill.
Okay, do you think that every religious person should believe everything that their religious book tells them, or should they think for
No, of
themselves
course not. Not
and
everyone should
not
believe everything.
and
I'm
should
not
they
saying
or
that.
sorry, or should they think for themselves and not cause unnecessary harm to sentient beings who want to live?
Honestly, I don't get what you're trying to get at, because that's not what I'm saying personally. I'm saying it pays respect.
Yeah, but it's not respectful to the animal, right?
Pardon?
It's not respectful to the animal to cut their head off.
You don't cut their head off, but yeah.
You don't? Okay, well, slitting their throats, like, how are you supposed to kill the animal?
In Islam, you try to look out for the animal as much as possible. You give the animal a good life before you take its life away. It's not like what you do here for halal meat. That's what you need to do. You don't just kill the animals, grind them. No, you let them live a good life. You treat them well with respect. And then you say Bismillah before you slit their wrist in order to make it less painful for the animal.
Yeah, so you're talking about respecting animals, but I don't think it's respectful to kill them because they don't want to die.
Oh,
So,
shoot, I slit their wrist, sorry, yeah. But, honestly, I respect your opinion, and I don't feel like you respect mine, and that's fine, like, that's valid. Of course, you're going to believe what you want to believe, and I'm going to believe what I want to believe, but I just came up here to say what I believe.
yeah, that's cool. I appreciate the polite discussion and all. I respect you, and I respect your rights to do whatever you want with your life, so long as you're not hurting humans or animals. But as soon as you start hurting humans or animals, that's what I don't respect.
I completely understand what you mean, and I think it's valid, but that's like, it could go both ways. I could say the fact that you're creating a whole thing to try to get people to be vegan, I don't respect that.
Okay, you don't have to.
Of course, I don't have to. You don't have to respect what I have to respect. Like, it works both ways, because you get what I mean.
Yeah, just know that there's a bunch of vegan Muslims who are working to help us shut down all the slaughterhouses and change the law to protect animals from needless cruelty, like stabbing them.
I don't think you were listening to what I was saying.
Uh,
In
I,
Islam, you don't use slaughterhouses.
okay, well, whatever you like. By slaughterhouse, I mean anywhere where animals are being killed. Okay, so call it what you want, but the yard or wherever where throat slitting is happening, we're shutting that down.
I don't know if that would be successful, because there's lots of countries, like, I'm going to go back into this, in poverty, that will still be killing animals, and even not in poverty, just people who enjoy meat, they will still be killing animals, and it won't shut it down, because it just happens in this world.
Yeah, lots of things used to happen that we outlawed because of human rights violations or animal rights violations. Like, for example, the California fur ban. We recently banned the sale of fur because of the animal cruelty in the fur industry. It was something that nobody thought would be able to happen because a lot of people wear fur and they enjoy it. But we started with one small progressive city, West Hollywood. Some activists talked to their local politicians, and the politicians agreed, and they introduced a new law, and they banned the sale of fur in West Hollywood. And then the same thing happened in Berkeley, California, another small progressive city. And
No,
then, sorry, just let me
yeah, no,
finish this real quick, thanks. And then the activists went to San Francisco, which is a big city in California,
yeah,
and they banned the sale of fur.
yeah.
And then it happened in Los Angeles, California. They banned the sale of fur, and then sorry, just almost done. And then the entire state of California banned the sale of fur, and so
Yeah.
we're just going to keep doing that, but with all animal products.
Could I say something about that?
Yeah.
I don't agree with harming an animal for its fur.
Okay, so
I don't
what's
agree with harming an animal for something that you're going to use for your, like, fashion sense or something like that. I agree with eating the animal after you've given it a good life and giving it a life up to, like, the best you could give it before killing the animal.
okay? Well,
And of course, the best way to give it is not killing it
yeah,
at all.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad that.
Sorry.
Sorry, I'm glad that we agree that killing animals. I'm glad we agree that killing animals for their fur is wrong because we don't need to wear their fur, and because we can be warm and fashionable without killing animals. But what I'm saying is, I don't see any difference between needlessly killing an animal for their fur so that we can wear a coat that we don't need, versus which is just pleasure. We're just killing an animal for pleasure of wearing their skin or their fur, versus needlessly killing an animal for the pleasure we get of eating their dead body and the taste pleasure. Uh, I don't see any difference between that. Either way, it's causing massive unnecessary suffering. It's needless animal cruelty.
Um, there are lots. There's certain medical conditions where eating animals is better for you.
Like what? Sorry, like what?
Let me quickly Google it. Sorry, I forgot what it's called.
Okay.
Sorry. If you have anything to say right now, yeah, you can go. I'm just.
Yeah, while you look that up, I'll post my sources in stage 1 text about health and how a vegan diet is nutritionally adequate. And probably actually better for your body.
It's like, for example, like, is there any medical conditions which stop you from being vegan? People with chronic alcohol addictions.
Nope.
Or conditions such as cancer.
Nope.
Crohn's disease, diabetes.
Nope.
If you have it's better to if you cut out animal products, then it could impact your health negatively.
No. So here's my source. So I just posted in stage 1 text a picture of some vegan bodybuilders. So the text says, the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics is the world's largest organization of food and nutrition experts with 100,000 registered dietitians, and their position is that an appropriately planned vegan diet is nutritionally adequate for all stages of life, including is nutritionally adequate and may provide health benefits for the prevention and treatment of certain diseases such as type 2 diabetes, heart disease, hypertension, certain types of cancer, and obesity. These nutrition experts confirm that a vegan diet is appropriate for all stages of the life cycle, including pregnancy, lactation, infancy, childhood, adolescence, older adulthood, and for athletes. And then the British Dietetic Association says the exact same thing.
I am not talking about your appearance. I'm not talking about whether you're buff or you're not. For people with Crohn's disease, you are at more, like, you cut out that meat, it's going to affect you negatively. Of course, you can have a certain diet that makes you look better, or makes you look buffer, or makes you look skinnier, but I'm talking about mental health, like, not mental, physical health,
yeah.
Actually, like, not about how buff you are, but people, like I said, with Crohn's disease, like, that meat is essential to them.
Well, sorry. So, just to clear up some confusion, just because I posted pictures, just because I posted. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I was just telling the people in the chat something. Sorry.
Okay. Just because I posted pictures of vegan bodybuilders doesn't mean, like, I'm just showing that to show that people can be healthy on a vegan diet, but that was just a supplementary part. The main thing is the text that I included, which is from nutrition experts, physicians, registered dietitians, 100,000 of them, or more actually, because we included 2 different sources. So the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. So I've posted sources, and this is not just talking about how you can be a vegan athlete. This is talking about how you can be healthy on a vegan diet, whether you're a pregnant mother or a child or an elderly person or an athlete, okay? And that a vegan diet can help prevent and reverse certain types of diseases like heart disease, type 2 diabetes, hypertension, certain types of cancer, and obesity. So if you have some other statistics, I'd like to see them, because otherwise, no offense, you're just some person on the internet saying something. So if you have some scientific journals, some peer-reviewed data, research, we'd like to see that, because the sources I'm posting are not like a vegan organization or anything. These are just regular doctors and nutrition experts. So
may I ask you, at age 14, how you want me to get scientific documents of veganism, which I personally do not relate into or do not go into. I am just saying my point, and I'm trying to find as much evidence as I can because you asked me to. I just quickly looked up something, and I tried to find something quickly.
Sure.
But
no, it's okay. Like if you don't have any evidence to back up your claims right now, that's okay. You might want to try to find that evidence. Like just you have the internet, right? So just do some searches and try to find some good scientific articles from non-biased sources that back up your claims. Otherwise, be careful making those claims because nobody's going to take you seriously unless you back it up with science.
Okay, yeah, I completely get what you're saying, but of course I wouldn't have like 5 seconds to quickly search something up.
Sure, but you can always come. You can always. We do these stages every day, so you can always come back on stage or join a VC, the voice channels down below, and talk to people and provide your evidence once you find it. If you find it, I don't think you'll be able to find it though, because it probably doesn't exist.
Yeah, I think I will personally, but I'll look.
Okay, cool. Do you have any other thoughts or questions?
I mean, I don't think you'd respect if I said this, so I don't think I will. But
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I said I don't know if you'd be okay with me like saying this.
Well, say what you're gonna say. Like we're down to listen to opposing viewpoints.
Yeah, okay. I've already said it, but I don't know if people heard me. I don't think it's good to shut down all places where they do kill animals. I don't think it's right. I'm going to go back into this, especially for people with poverty. I don't know what they're going to do once you guys shut all of that down.
Okay, well, yeah, like, again, so the idea is we're not targeting people who can't easily find an alternative. Like,
I know,
if
I am.
Well, that's what I'm saying is like, okay, so as this will be a gradual progression. So over the next 10, 20, 30 years, more people are going to go vegan in developed countries where it's easy to just buy something else at the grocery store, and so that will make more products, more vegan products will be on the shelves and inside of restaurants and stuff. And so that'll make it easier for more people in developed nations to go vegan. And then the whole country, like developed countries, will go vegan and pass laws against animal cruelty. And there will be an increase in international trade of vegan products because they will be more available and profitable. And that will make it easier for other countries to go vegan. And we can set up like plant farms in those other countries where they're just like tribes or where they don't have access to grocery stores. I'm a human rights activist also, so I think we need to help the poor people across the world to have access to food. So that's one of the things I'm fighting for also.
Like I said multiple times, I completely agree with everything you're saying, and I think everyone's opinions are valid. But like the vegan culture, it's just not put out very good now in 2021, especially now. I'm just trying to say my point, and then people in the chat are just going on when I'm trying to have a one-on-one discussion with you personally.
Yeah, we'll just ignore the chat and just talk to me. I mean, go look at go look at the chat later in case people posted some videos or some resources like recipes and stuff like that can help you, but talk to me right now.
Oh yeah, don't worry, I've already clicked on the link you said.
Cool.
Sorry. So I'm definitely going to check it out because, like I said, I do want to look into everything.
Great.
But I just don't think it's right to be not sort of attack someone for their beliefs.
Well, we're not trying to attack you, but we are trying to just stand up for the animals. So I see these animals in a very similar way that I see little children, because little kids and little animals are totally innocent and completely at our mercy. These are gentle, harmless individuals. They don't mean us any harm, right? They're not trying to hurt us. They're just trying to live their lives and enjoy their existence and hang out with their friends and family and eat good food and stuff like that. And they don't want to die. And I don't want to cut their life short because I think that's mean. And I don't want anyone else to cut their life short. I don't want anybody to bully a small child I don't want anybody to bully an animal. Just because somebody's weaker than us doesn't give us the right to abuse the power we hold over them and do with them whatever we want when we don't need to.
Yeah, no, I don't want to bring religion into this, but it has a big part in my belief. Like, I'm not allowed to compare an animal to a human.
But humans are animals. Do you agree that humans are animals? We're mammals?
I do not agree that humans should be compared to animals.
No. I'm not saying comparing us to animals. I'm saying we are animals.
I mean, it would be a difficult topic to explain.
Okay, well, I'm just talking like scientifically, like speaking from science, like biologically.
No, yeah, we are mammals, yeah.
Right, and mammals are animals, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so humans are animals.
Pardon, sorry?
Humans are animals because we're mammals,
No.
and mammals are animals.
Yeah, but I don't want that to get taken the wrong way, like I would compare a human to an animal, because I would never do that. And when I say animal, I'm not talking about humans. I'm talking about something like a dog, a chicken, a cow. Like, I'm not just talking about animals you would use as pets.
Okay, well, like let's compare two different a human and a non-human animal. Let's compare a nice dog, a little puppy, to Hitler. Okay, so if we had to choose between Hitler and a puppy, who would we save? I would save the puppy because I think Hitler is going to kill a bunch of innocent people, and I want to save those innocent people. The dog is not going to hurt anybody, so I give more value to the puppy than I do to Hitler. How about you?
Yeah, that's like saying, would you want to save Hitler in general? No one would want to save Hitler.
Right, so just because somebody's human doesn't mean they're more valuable than an animal necessarily. Now, sometimes
in my religion, that's how it works. Like, if you're just going to compare it to a random human, I'm not talking about what they've done, I'm not talking about their background, just a random human and a random animal.
Yeah, well, in a regular case of like just a regular animal who's not hurting anybody versus a regular human who's not hurting anybody, you don't have to value them equally. You can value humans more than you value animals, but we're saying you shouldn't value animals to such a low degree that it's okay to stab them for a sandwich when you could just eat something else. But if you would agree that you would give preferential treatment, that you would value a puppy more than you would value Hitler, that demonstrates that some animals are more valuable to you than some humans.
But that's not my point. You sort of took the thing, just ran away with it, and made your whole different point. I'm talking about a human. You don't know their background, you don't know their story.
Yeah.
Of course, if you're going to put up someone who's done so much stuff in the so much stuff in the past, bad things, and then you're going to put it up against an animal, I would pick the animal over that human.
Cool.
If it's just a random human you just don't know anything about them. Of course, the human.
Okay, that's fine, but that still doesn't mean that it's okay to kill an animal if you don't need to. Like, to kill an animal. Now we're comparing an animal versus a sandwich instead of an animal versus Hitler or an animal versus your average human being. Now we're comparing an animal to a sandwich. Are you going to value the sandwich and the pleasure you get from the sandwich more than you value that animal's life?
You see, personally, I don't even eat meat that much, but you're comparing an animal to a sandwich now. Like, come on. It's getting a little too far. And also I have people in my DMs being really disrespectful, and this is one of the reasons people won't support veganism, because of people like them.
Well, okay, well, you might, check the roles of the people who are DMing you, because a lot of times non-vegans will bully other non-vegans in this server. We try to keep an eye on it to make sure it doesn't happen, but some of the people who are sending you mean messages might actually not be vegan. So double check that. But I feel like I've been pretty nice to you, even though we disagree about a lot of stuff.
I completely respect you and all your opinions and your views and how you believe things.
Cool. All right, well, we've got some other people in line who want to talk, but I've appreciated the conversation. If you want to talk to us again, that would be great. We like hearing your thoughts, and And
For
yeah,
sure.
if you want to find some sources and post them, we'd be happy to look at them.
I'll definitely check out the videos you sent me. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Have a good day.
Have a good day.
What's up, Satan?
What's up, Chase? How you doing?
Chilling. We were just talking about religion, so it's good that you showed up with your devil
I didn't know I
worship.
was gonna go there.
But let's.
I just wanted to ask, why, like, what religion, like, is gonna, like, prohibit comparing humans and animals? It might be that you're not allowed to put them on the same moral level, which, fine, like, I can understand that, but, that seems like a really weird religious rule. I'm not sure what religion would be advocating that you can't compare them. But if what you're saying is that they can't be on the same moral level, I think that's implied in most, like, Abrahamic religions, at least. So I wouldn't say that's controversial. But
Yeah, and I would again just like tell people to go to YouTube and type in vegan Muslim or vegan Christian or vegan Jew, vegan Hindu. There's a bunch of religious people who are also nice to animals. And but if your religion tells you that you have to kill animals, uh, I would say you should leave that religion. That religion is probably no good. Um, and yeah, look into atheism. But that's just me. So let's bring somebody else up. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name.
So I've been trying to like go vegan, but it's kind of hard since I've basically been like eating meat like half of my whole life.
Yeah, I understand. I ate animals for 26 years, but now I've been vegan for like 11 years. And so I remember that I used to be scared of going vegan because I didn't know much about it, and it was felt like a big life change, and I didn't know what kind of foods I would eat or where I would find these foods. And so the first 3 weeks were a little rough, but nothing I couldn't handle because I just changed my priorities so that instead of thinking about myself and what I was used to doing, I started thinking about the victims, the animals inside the slaughterhouses who are having their heads cut off for no good reason. And I just realized that, well, I wouldn't do this to a dog or a cat, so why am I doing this to cows and pigs and chickens and fish? And I wouldn't want this done to me, so why would I do it to others? And so I just stopped and I started eating rice and beans and French fries instead of burgers. And it took, like I said, it took like 3 weeks to get over it, but it wasn't very hard. Psychologists say that it takes about 21 days to change a habit. So whether we're talking about stopping smoking cigarettes or stopping drinking alcohol or starting a new exercise routine or changing our diet, it takes about 21 days for us to get rid of our old habit and to build a new habit. And then once those 21 days are over, you're used to this new routine and it's very easy. And that's what most vegans experience. And now I never think about eating animals. It makes me sick. I just think about the slaughterhouses and yeah.
I just watched a bunch of slaughterhouse footage, and it was the first time that I actually, like, sat and watched it.
Personally, if I watched animals being slaughtered, I'd probably have nightmares for like the rest of my life, and I really like sleeping.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay, so like the other girl who just came before me, she had reasons because she was a Muslim. Okay, so like me, I'm a Muslim as well, but there's like, I don't know, there's just difficulties at the same time.
Don't underestimate yourself because you are strong and you are smart and you can do it, and the animals really need your help. So just keep thinking about the animals and believe in yourself, and do more research about what is happening to animals. Even if you don't watch any videos, just read articles about how animals are treated in slaughterhouses.
With like taking fur of animals and stuff, I'm honestly just against that. I just can't even think of that.
Chase, you weren't you, like, you always talk about the fur ban, right, in California? I don't know if you want to touch on that, but
Yeah, just that we banned the sale of fur in California because of the animal cruelty. Um, it was a $40 million per year industry, $40 million a year people were making from selling fur coats in California, but we shut it down with just 300 activists, and it only took 3 years to do that in the whole state of California. So nobody, even most vegan activists, didn't think that was going to happen that quickly, but it turned out that the public supported us and a lot of politicians supported us, and we won, and it was really cool. And we're just going to keep going. Other states in America are, they saw that California was able to do that, and now they're trying to do the same thing in New York and Washington and Hawaii and stuff like that. And then we're going to make it a federal law across the whole country. And then we're going to outlaw meat and milk and eggs and leather and zoos and SeaWorld and circuses that hurt animals, animal testing, all that stuff.
What if, what about like what if people, some people they really like me? What will happen if they get like really mad about it? And
Well,
it's not only like a small amount of people; it's quite a lot of people.
yeah. Well, again, there's a lot of people like you who, even though you eat animals, you were saying you're against killing animals for their fur, and there's a lot of people like you who agree. And so soon, I think you and those other people are already starting to realize that there's no real difference between killing an animal for their fur versus killing an animal for their flesh, for their meat. Either way, we're just
Exactly.
either way.
What I said.
Sorry, just one second.
Yeah, so go ahead.
Either way, we're just killing an animal for our own pleasure because we get pleasure out of wearing a certain coat, or we get pleasure out of eating a certain flavor. But those are not good reasons to kill animals.
Most of my family are like against vegans and stuff, so I'm still unsure about what to do about that.
Yeah, I understand. I'm the only vegan in my family. Both of my parents eat animals, but they've started cooking vegan meals for me because I told them I'm not going to sit at the dinner table and eat with them if they're eating animals because I'm against animal cruelty, and I think it's cruel to eat animals. And I wouldn't sit with them if they were eating a dog or a cat. They probably wouldn't sit with me if I was eating a dog or a cat, even though they eat other animals. They would probably say, no, I'm not going to sit at that table. And so, because of that, this is called the Liberation Pledge. But because I said that, my parents cook a lot of vegan meals for us to share. And so, we're still able to have a good relationship and eat good food together. We just don't eat animal products. And so, that helps my parents try good vegan food. And but my brother, he's a hunter, and so he shoots deer and elk and all kinds of animals, and it makes me really sad. But I try to love him anyway, and we still have a good relationship. And I talk to him about animal rights, and hopefully one day he'll change. But his religion of Christianity tells him that it's okay for him to shoot animals, but I just don't think that that's a good way to live. It's bad for the animals, they don't want to die. So we just, try to love people and educate them and give them reasons for why they should be nice to animals, and hopefully they'll change.
I'm just being honest, but like if I did like not want to eat anything meat with my family, they wouldn't mind it. But like if I refused to sit at the dinner table with them, and like because I wouldn't want to see them eating animals, I'm not gonna lie, my mom would probably smack me.
Yeah, I understand. And it can be harder if you're younger and you're living with your parents, if they have certain rules. I don't want you to get in trouble all the time, or for your parents to be mad at you a lot. Some parents are more open-minded than other parents. So, you might just have to, see if they'll let you eat plant-based foods at the table with them, and just do the best you can in these circumstances. Um, but yeah, if do you think your parents would let you eat only vegan food if you chose to do that? Would they be okay with that so long as you eat at the same table as them?
I don't think so because my mother is like very strict with like, cause she thinks if I don't eat meat, like there's gonna be something very wrong with me. Like I don't know, she's gonna think there's like many medical problems and stuff. And yeah.
Okay, so I'll give you two things that will help. Hopefully they will help. So are you able to see stage one text? It's just a few channels above where we're currently at. Stage one text is
Yeah.
where that's where I can post pictures and videos. Are you able to see that?
Yeah.
Okay, so everybody can see this in stage one text. I'm going to post a picture of some vegan bodybuilders and a statement from some 100,000 nutritionists, dietitians, like doctors who know about this stuff. And so you can show this quote to your mom, and this shows that a vegan diet is nutritionally adequate for everybody. Everybody can be vegan. You'll need to take a vitamin B12 supplement, which is just like you can take a daily multivitamin. Hopefully, you can find that where you live. But doctors recommend that everybody take a daily multivitamin just to make sure, even if you're vegan or not vegan, just to make sure you're getting all your minerals and vitamins. So I just also posted some sources for B12. But then the last thing that I'll post here is a fun video that I made about happy animals. So this isn't any animal cruelty or anything. This is just a fun video that your parents might enjoy watching. It's just happy. It's just like happy cows, pigs, and chickens playing with their friends or playing in a field or playing with a ball, stuff like that. It's really cute. And so that might help your family understand why we should care about animals, because these animals play just like little children.
Oh, and kind of off topic, but my dad left me. With my mom at the moment.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, that can be really hard. I'm sorry you're going through that. I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad that you have your mom with you, though. Do you have any brothers or sisters?
Yeah.
Okay, well that's good that you've got some friends. Your mom and your brother and sisters. They can be there to help you. And
But they're so mean to me. They don't like me being a vegan.
oh, I'm sorry. They might change. Sometimes new things are hard for people to understand, and so it can take a little while for them to change. But I'm going to send you a friend request right now if you want to be friends with me on Discord, and you can reach out to me or to anybody else in the server, and we've got your back. We'll be your friends, and we'll be nice to you, and we'll answer any questions you have, and we'll talk to you about other stuff too. It doesn't have to just be about animal rights and stuff. We can talk to you about anything you're having trouble with in your life. We'll try to be there for you, because we don't just care about animals. We care about humans also. So you matter a bunch. Okay, you're very important.
Yeah, thank you. That really helps.
Yeah, you're very important, and the world is better with you in it. So just try to love yourself and be patient with your family, and try to love them even if they're being mean to you, because a lot of times the best way to help somebody become more loving is to be loving towards them, even if they're not being loving towards us.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. But again, I'm sorry you're going through that, but just do your best to hang in there, and keep being nice to animals and nice to people as much as you can. And if you're not able to do something, like be a full vegan, if it's too hard because your mom won't let you, then don't beat yourself up about it. because it's kind of out of your control at that point, and your heart is in the right place. You want to do the right thing, but maybe you can't right now. But when you get older and you get your own house, when you leave home, leave your mom's home and stuff, you can be vegan and you can live your life however you want to at that time. But in the meantime, just be the best person you can be right now.
Yeah, thank you. That really helps. It means a lot to me.
Yeah, my pleasure. And you'll be okay, all right? And just keep talking to us. Join the stage again. We do these stages every day, and we also have the VC, the voice channels below. So there's people talking in there right now. If you want to go talk to them, or you can stay in the audience and just keep listening to us. But we like hearing from you, and you're important, and you matter a bunch. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll just stay in the audience.
Okay. All right. We'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you